Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm having a little bit of a problem with my my chat window that I can normally see and follow along with while I do readings. So if you'll bear with me, I am just trying to figure that out, and I'll get going pretty quickly. Hi, Mitt. Thanks for joining. For those who are watching, if you want to hop into the chat, um, I I fixed my issue, so I think I'll be able to see. Okay. Well, welcome. My name is Jen. I am the owner of the Circle of Besties online metaphysical shop. It's a mouthful, I know. Every Tuesday, I try to hop on between 7 and 8 Eastern US to do some free readings. So I have 3 decks of cards. Today, I have 1 Oracle deck and 2 Tarot decks. So what I'll do is I shuffle off camera. And what we'll do is pull a few oracle cards to get us started, give us a theme for the hour. And then as you can enter any questions that you might have in the chat. If you could put your astrology sign as well, that will help me pull cards for you. And any, if you have a specific question, if it's love, career, you can get as detailed as you like, and I'll pull cards and tell you what I get from the cards. But don't be shy. You can ask as little. You can put as much or little detail as you like. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me while I shuffle these decks. I want to make sure that everything it's got fresh energy mixed in with the cards. So let me pull 2 oracle decks for us. 2 oracle cards for us. I'm going to move these so we can see. So sorry, my camera angle is a little funny today. Oops, that flew right out. So we have Thinker, okay, and I like to shuffle until a card jumps out, because then I know it's meant for us. Well, sort of feeling like that's where we're gonna focus on, is the Thinker card. So the number 44 might have significance for you. I like to separate the numbers out. So because it's a 44, it could be the number 4, the number 44. You can add the 2 together. It could be an 8. So I'm just trying to get this in a good view for you. There we go. Okay, strategy, being analytical and logical are the essential meanings of the Thinker card. You'll see that you have a little fairy, sort of lost in thought, relaxed. You can tell she's been there for a bit. Really going inward and focusing on what she needs to think about. So the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. This is the message of this card. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So, well, I think that's a pretty positive way to start. If it's a love relationship message you're looking for, this in relation to that, but it does mention that even though love is not logical, when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than just lust. So I don't know if that's a problem for anyone who's viewing, but yeah, it's time to weigh the pros and cons of partnership. If there's common ground, if there's enough of it, go for it. If not, maybe it's time to seek out other fish in the sea. Don't force anything to work. Should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. And now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy, no matter what. In this case, the facts are the facts. So if you are working on a business plan, or if you are asking about, how to actually follow through, with a project, or trying to get, the details narrowed down on how to solve a problem, this card is guiding you to sit down and definitively plan a strategy. So you want to focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. So lists are your friend now. Get out your journal, write down where you're going, to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. So vision boards are a way of sort of, I might not sit and journal. I might not, write lists, but if I'm trying to attract abundance, for me, like finding images and making a vision board, and then using, keywords to define the images that I choose, to let the universe know sort of where I'm aiming as far as my goals. That might be a better way that might be a way that will help you if you're visual like me, more creative. Either way, put it out in the universe, write a list, say it out loud, journal, do the vision boards, make an Excel spreadsheet, but just get it out into the universe and focus your intention and strategize. And, you're going to attract much more energy that way, positive energy. So energy attracts energy. I always say that. I sound like a broken record week to week, I think, but okay. So actually I'm going to leave that for us to kind of have to the side here. I'm trying to see what the best way to, all right. Well, I'll be able to see it, and I'll pull it back out, if it has something to do with any of our questions. So Amit, do you have a question for me? Is there anything you want to know? If you could tell me your astrology sign, that would be helpful as well. And then I'll pull cards. Otherwise, I can just do a general read, and then as people have questions, they can come onto the chat and let me know. Oops. Okay, so I'm shuffling off camera, and like I said, I like to have things jump out, which I just did. So our first card is the Page of Water. So a page could be someone in your world, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, a water sign, a younger person. Pages are tend to be a younger person that is part of your world. Water signs are very empathetic, creative, caring, compassionate, feelers, so definitely, emotional, but in a way that's, like I said, empathetic. So not necessarily out of control with their emotions, but just definitely leads with their heart in their sleeve. And the Page of Water can be incoming interactions, messages, offers that are at the very beginning stages of a process. So if it's a relationship, the very beginning stages of the relationship. If it's business, it could be, a compassionate HR person reaches out and schedules the interview, or leads you through your first interview, your HR screen, something like that. So when I look at this card, I'm definitely my eyes are being drawn to the water lilies at the base of the photo. They're right above the letters. And so for me, it's just saying that, things can blossom where you least expect them to. So, really just sort of, don't make, well, remember we have the thinker card that we also have to incorporate into this message. So the thinker is if somebody tells you who they are, believe them and take them at face value. But don't make assumptions and allow people to surprise you as well. So if you are an overthinker, or you almost maybe too logical, or you like things to fall into certain categories like black and white, if there's a little bit of gray thrown at you, allow it to, find a home somewhere in the middle of the black and white columns, and see it for what it is. And that's just a special quality that you might not come by every now and then. Okay, so, again, this could be you, but I'm getting the impression that it's something that's around you. It's someone that's around you. So, someone in your orbit. Okay, so the Three of Fire. Again, another strategy card. So, we have the Thinker, which is strategy. So if this isn't business, this is waiting for, something to come about. So you have your Page of Water. So that could be the beginning of a conversation or a relationship. Something that it's in, like I said, in its beginning stages. The Three of Fire, you've already sort of figured out, what you want, how you're going to do it, sort of put your intuition and your objectives and your intentions into the universe, and you're just waiting for them to come back. So Three of Fire for me is a strategy card. But it's strategy that's already been, acted upon, and waiting for it to kind of unfold. Then we have Transformation. Okay, so number 13. This is a major arcana. It's also known as, it's the Death card. But Transformation, this is another Scorpio card. Three of Fire, I think, is like Aries. I'll have to get back to you on that. But Three of Fire is definitely gives you. It correlates with like intentions, again, strategies, ambitions, things that get you excited, your passions. So when you put out your intentions out into the world, they're made up of all those things. So in Transformation, it's irrevocable change. So it's taking all the intention and pushing out everything that doesn't serve you, and only taking and acknowledging and reinforcing and listing and journaling and vision boarding all the things that you do want, and then and then having a metamorphosis of sorts lead you to that reality. So this is our third card out, is a fantastic signal that these things are coming to fruition. So if you're waiting on a job, something that you've been wanting, if this is in regards to work, you're going to be contacted and begin the stages of being hired into something that you've wanted for a very long time, a career that you've always wanted to, be a part of, a company that you really like, doing a job that you've worked hard to, gain the skills to be able to perform. It's all working out in your favor. Okay. It's not a busy night tonight. When I first came on, I thought I had more people, but that's okay. I'll go for another 15 minutes, and if I don't have anybody join, then I'll log off and try again next week. I was a little late today, so those who normally would come in might have looked for me and then logged off. I do have a lot of people who say that they watch the recordings. The analytics show somebody's watching the recordings, but yeah. So if you have any questions in the recording, please put it in the comments, and I'll get back to you. or I'll invite you to come to the following week, and then I can address your question there. Hi, Gabby, come on in. Yes, you can ask a question. I'm shuffling. I'm sorry if you don't see anything happening, but I'm shuffling off camera. So we're using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed, the Wisdom of the Oracle, for overall guidance, which we got the Thinker, so strategy, vision boarding, setting intentions, using your intuitions, but like trusting things at face value. Then I also have the Everyday Witch deck, which is a tarot deck. Okay, what's your question, Gabby? Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Okay. I'm just going to pull a bunch of cards and then I'll speak to them and we can get an answer to your question. All right. All right. So these are the cards that came out for you in this order. So I have the Queen of Pentacles. So I asked your question in my mind. I said, okay, what are the feelings of Odalis, who's an Aries, towards Gabby? And I got the Queen of Pentacles. So this tells me that he thinks of you as, a very, you have a comfortable relationship. He thinks of you as, very feminine. Someone who, is family minded. You give a cozy sense of home, if that makes sense. Like he's very comfortable with you, but not I don't want you to take that in the wrong way. I know that in love relationships, the last thing you want to be considered is cozy, but it's like you give him a feeling of he's comfortable around you and he can be himself. He sees, your partnership as something that, definitely can like grow roots and flourish. There's potential of a family. Queen of Pentacle energy is very much, a confident mother, someone who's very good at, all the, managing all the material things in life to make, those around her feel safe and secure and comfortable. So, this is a very good energy, in my opinion, I think, for people to see you in, just because, it's a sense of, you're strong. You have a sense of control about you that's very comforting for people who might not, have, it's like a calmness. So, then I get the Page of Cups. So I'm assuming that this might be Odalis. So if he's, I don't know if he's younger, creative, artistic, emotional, in his feelings a bit, whereas, the Queen of Pentacles is very secure and all those things, like you can be creative, but, it's almost like, you're very grounded, whereas a Page of Cups has a bit of a naivete, with life, with just control, if that makes sense. So definitely in the beginning stages. So anytime you have a page, like I was saying before, it could mean somebody younger. It could be the beginning stages of something. The beginning stages of an emotional relationship. So that could just mean that instead of all those other things that it also means. But let's see. We're friends in the moment, but in this situation, he's really testing the patience. I think, I'm picking up on like ADHD. I hate to say it like that, like to sound insensitive, but I feel like you're very grounded and in control and like you're always seeking to understand. We have the Thinker card in the beginning. So bringing that into your reading, I think that you're just very logical and understanding. So the advice for the thinker card was, if somebody is showing you who they are, believe them, and that, and that it's better to have things in common and to be able to see a future, that will, benefit both of you, rather than, focus on, the passion or the lust of and the butterflies of the puppy love, So it's saying, really take a look at truly what it is. And if he's showing you who he is, believe him. And if it's not for you long term, then it's okay to walk away as friends. There are other fish in the sea. So that was the advice. I don't know, if that makes sense, but so I got 3 other cards for you, and I was asking for sort of an outcome or like action, like what to follow. And I got Ace of Pentacles. So this means like it's a new offer. It's a new, it's a new grounded adventure. It could, a lot of times people like take the Suit of Pentacles and they say, okay, work, house, family. So, like it could mean you're getting a new car. It could mean that you're getting a new house. It could mean that you might think of someday like living together. You could be talking about a lot of new things that, are part of an earthly existence that, could be refreshing and new. But I'm not sure if either of you might be starting a new job. I'm really getting job for some reason. I'm also really looking at this cat. So as your relationship, if it deepens and it does, you come together in a more serious way, like it might be good to just sort of see how they do with animals, and like maybe start with a pet before babies, And then for the King of Swords, so this is an energy that's very logical, fair, very just, focused on the truth, by the book, so we have the Thinker and the King of Swords. So I think that, the overall energy and the advice is to really not get carried away by the fun and the, like I say, the passion and the chemistry. And, if you've known each other, you're friends now, but, it's saying take into consideration, like, what it would be like to change from one thing to another, and, really weigh if that works for you long term. I think this is kind of a serious advice, not a lot of fun in this advice, but the 3 of Cups is the last card that I received, and I'll take that as an overall action card. And that's really just to, this is, community, celebration, feminine girl power, So, it's like sitting in the emotions of where you are now, where you want to be, understanding who you are as a person, leaning on your girlfriends, your family, your mom, your grandmother, your sisters, it doesn't have to be necessarily a binary thing. It could be, the people that love you and know your soul, like lean into that, into those partnerships and say, here's where I'm at as far as my feelings around the situation. Like, what do you all see? What do you all think? Am I, give me some objective advice on, moving forward. Is this a good thing for me? Help me out here. So the advice is to, trust your instincts. You're a solid bet for a relationship. But if your friend Odalis isn't seeing you as such, then, again, the overall energy card, the Oracle card, is like, do what's best for you long term. And, you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. There are other fish in the sea, all the colloquialisms that like people say, as far as, just go where the energy feels right. And the 3 of Cups is really the symbol for that, like, and leaning on those who truly know your soul to like help you figure that out if you need help. Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, the advice is like, you're going to have to try to it's like know yourself and then test it against, what is, your friendship and the vibe, that and the vibe that, as you bring up, like maybe changing the dynamic, like, really being honest with what that means. So, I don't know how young you are, but like in your 20s, sometimes it's like easy to, take friends, add alcohol, and guess what? You've got something more than friends. But then, the next, during the week, you're like, right back to like, well, I don't know if it's meant to be. It's just okay for right now. So, okay, good. All right, Gabby, best of luck to you. And then come back we're here on Tuesdays between 7 and 8 Eastern. I go live. If you subscribe to the channel, you should get some alerts. I think there's a bell, and I normally have a moderator helping me with all the logistics. But yeah, if you have any trouble, you can reach out by commenting on any of the videos, and we'll get back to you. Or you can find me on Instagram, and then send me a DM that way. Okay, I'm just going to pull a couple cards as they pop out. So I have a Six of Swords. I don't know who this is for. Thanks, Gabby. Six of Swords is, so it's going from sort of like, a treacherous environment to a calm and decent one. Does that make sense? So it's like, if you're having thoughts, if you know deep in your gut that something isn't meant for you, and then you just sort of shift things mixed with the thinker card, because we're pulling in the thinker card to everything I pull out. Strategize your way out of something that's tricky. And if it's a vibe that doesn't fit you, who you are now, like say when you first, like, so if you, I'll bring it back to work. So if you were in a job and it was your dream job when you began, but then, you gained some training, some education, some life experience, some, work experience. And then over time, you just found that it didn't sit right with you anymore. It doesn't fulfill you. You're not as motivated or challenged as you once were. It's okay to say, okay, well, what else is out there for me? Like, let me think about all the things that, bring me joy, or, like help me, or, like excite me and challenge me. And like, what's out there that I can, what's out there that might be a better fit. And then, slowly working towards like networking. You can be online on LinkedIn and like reach out to people who have the job you think you might want someday, and ask them what their path was, and like, what did they like most about the job they have now? What did they like least? You can really like get a feeling for where you want to go next before you even do it. So it's part of the strategy of going to the next step. But the Six of Swords is, it's a guided journey from one environment that no longer serves you to one that is a calmer shore, in a sense. Like it sits better with your soul. So, and then you'll see the moon here. So that just suggests that it might not be obvious to you, but the more you think about it, and the more that you ask questions and you reach out to others, and you think and you journal and you list, and all the things that the thinker card told us to do in the beginning. But it's like, if somebody tells you a truth, believe it. Don't romanticize what's on the other side of that, the body of, like wherever you're going to next. Don't romanticize it. Know for sure where you're gonna land in your next step. So that's that. I like this deck. I haven't used it in a long time. It's called the Everyday Witch Tarot Deck. It's by Deborah Blake. And like, I like the cards. They're cute. They have like cats and witch hats on them. It's it's like cartoony. This is what the box looks like. I think it's cute. It's not for everybody. I do live readings in my small town in New England. And I have decks that make everybody comfortable. So like the Good Tarot, which I was using earlier. This is a great deck. It's beautiful artwork. nothing too spooky or witchy or, there's a lot of angels. And there's no reversals. So I do read reversals, and a lot of people say, what's a reversal? So it's if you get a card upside down, it doesn't automatically change the meaning of the card to like the opposite of what it would be upright. So not a lot of readers, dig into reversals because it's a lot to memorize and learn. But I feel like it's a more authentic story when I do reversals. All right, so I'm not really getting, all right, here we go. 3 of Cups and the Hangman in reverse. So for those who are sitting at home and sort of like, getting bored with life and thinking about rejoining society and maybe like taking up a hobby that involves actually hanging out with other people in person, this is telling you to go for it. It's contemplation's enough. Like we've figured out that there's no new virus. The election happened today in the US, so I know I always joke that something big is going to happen, so one of the people running will have to fix it, and then we'll have to vote for them because they saved the day, right? So it hasn't, it's happened in a lot of ways, but but like I said, I think I'm just going to take this down a lot of levels and make it as simple as, if you've been thinking about taking on a new hobby or getting out of the house or doing something that, where you can meet people and network and just have a little bit of a social life again post-COVID. And, now's the time. All right. Well, I want to thank those who did join and ask the question through the chat. That was very cool. And I'm so thankful to you for letting me read your cards. And I'm going to go grab a coin. I have a yes or no coin. We do this every week. It's in a different deck of cards, so I had to go grab it. So here we have the no. Look, I got this at Amazon. It's super heavy. It's like a spooky no with a skeleton angel. And then we have yes. Look at the hands with the eyes in them. It's very Illuminati-esque. But for me, it's just a yes or no coin. I'm flipping it, and we're gonna just ask a question. And so hold that question in your mind, and then let's flip it. All right, and we got a no. So hopefully that is a good no to your question. If not, don't worry. We all have free will. So even though the coin says no, that doesn't mean that that's the outcome for anything you asked about. We can choose our paths. So best of luck to you for the rest of the week, and I'll be back online at the least by next Tuesday around 7 to 8 Eastern. And I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for joining.